Hi, everybody. Welcome to NorQuest Unscripted Live. I'm Lauren Rubis, your Chief Culture and Transformation Officer. This is our kickoff event. We're so excited to have you join us. We are going to do this every Wednesday at 11 o'clock for at least 30 minutes. And, you know, if we get some enthusiasm around this, we'll kind of go for about 45 later on. So we'll build from there. So great. We're all part of this kickoff. Thank you for joining us, Executive. This is a little bit of an unusual event in that we have the whole executive here to join you this very first kickoff event. And of course, this is a chance for Jodi to have a chance to talk to all of you directly after her announcement. I know you're going to be anxious to hear about that in a minute. Now, normally through this process, it'll be me or one of my colleagues and somebody else who will kind of bring a topic, a very important topic, and we'll interview and talk about it a little bit, but it'll always be interactive. So we have the whole team here. Corey Strader's on camera, Mary Malott and Kira Crawford and Belinda Martin. This team has been phenomenal, along with Derek's team, to the whole IT team behind this, and everybody else to try and get everybody here. They've done just such a phenomenal job. And so typically, sometime through this process, the moderator, in this case it's Kira Crawford, will stop and say, hey, there's some comments or questions. So we'll try and make this as interactive as possible. You all know Jodi, of course. In the meantime, though, we have a kind of a newer team. So we're going to just do a very quick introduction. Then Jodi's going to come and going to say a few words. And then we're going to have a little bit, and you're going to hear a little bit from each executive. So Norma, if you want to kick it off, we'll go around, and then Jodi, you'll have a chance to say a few things.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Norma Schneider, and I have the pleasure of leading the teaching and learning portfolio of the college, and I've been with the college for 15 years.
Hi, everyone. I'm Laurel Evans. I'm the Vice President of People, and I support the Talent, People Development, People Services, and Compliance Office. I've been at the college for just around 8 years.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jill Matthew, and I've just transitioned into a new position as Chief Customer Experience Officer. I'm really excited, and I now have responsibility for recruitment, Office of the Registrar, Student Services, Indigenous Relations and Services, and the regional campuses.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff.
That's lots.
That's great.
Mouthful.
Marianne.
Okay. Hi, everyone. How are you? I'm Marianne Gate, Vice President of Business Development. At first, I didn't know where to look, but now Corey's helping me, so I'm very happy for that. Most of you would know I lead the area of corporate training and continuing education and the international office here at NorQuest. I've been here for 3.5 years, so it's been an amazing ride. So thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Michelle Beck. I'm Vice President Corporate Services and Finance, and I have just passed my first month at NorQuest.
All right. Only a few more before probation's over.
Hi, I'm Robin Bobasel. I'm the Chief of Staff and Director of Strategy. I've been at the college now for just about 3 months, and I kind of describe my role as putting out some fires, starting a few, and keeping this plate spinning before they hit the ground. It's nice to join you. Thank you.
That you do. I'm Amanda Dakvich. I'm the Vice President of External Affairs and Brand. I am more senior than you, but started on the same day as you, so we're all kind of in the same, I guess, learning curve. And yeah, it's been a couple months in. Pretty exciting so far. Lots of change.
And Amanda, that's really a lot of your team that's really kind of helped make this work, so they've done a phenomenal job. So, that's great. Okay, Madam President, this is your opportunity to talk
chat
to this group. Yeah.
That's great. Well, first of all, can you see we have an amazing team? And one of the things that I've noticed over the years is the tremendous people that we've been able to attract in the college. And I think this executive team is a solid team that's really going to move us forward. Everybody, I hope you know about Imagine 2025. It's a very bold plan. And that plan didn't come out of a hat. It actually came from our last plan. It came from setting a bold vision everybody rowing together. And I always remember in 2017, we were trying to get to 2025 with 20,000 learners. And in 2017, we did an update, and that update was to all of our staff. And what was really cool is we were getting closer and closer and closer to our target. And it was a target that we set, and I remember when executive talked about it, there were gasps in the room. It was like 20,000 learners, we can't possibly do that. And what happened in 2017 is we had moved the needle. And so this executive, this organization, every one of our employees contributed to that. And so for me, what's so cool is we have a different level of confidence than we have ever had in the organization. So that big plan of 2025, I think this team, and certainly I have tremendous confidence that our organization will push the limits. And I think as we garner new people into the organization, people are coming to us because they see we are bold and they see what is possible. And so to me, I'm very proud of this team. I'm very proud of all of you for what we've done and what we will do in the future. Lauren mentioned that I've made a decision. And I can tell you making a decision to leave the organization is the hardest decision I've ever made in my life, including who did I marry, what kind of dog did I get, all of those things. But I can tell you this was a tremendously difficult decision. And the reason why it was difficult is because of the people, because of our learners, because of the possibilities of what we do and what we will do in the future. But I also took comfort in knowing we're on really solid land and we can do anything. And so I'm going to a great new opportunity with the University Hospital Foundation. And what I think about that role is it's kind of the collision space between academia, healthcare, innovation, and the opportunity to do more transformation. And so I actually see we will be working together in the future, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what will happen here, because I think it will impact what we do over at the University Hospital Foundation. So I'm excited about what we built, but I'm still going to connect to you in some way or another. And I look forward to being across the river and watching what incredible things will happen here, because I know it. I know things will happen.
Yeah.
So I'll stop there.
Yeah,
Lauren.
well, you know, I first of all, Jodi, on behalf of the executive team and the whole college, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's such a thing you've earned, and the whole community is excited for you, and I know how excited they are over at the University Foundation. And, you know, your contributions to the community continue to accelerate and grow, and your legacy here will be, we have a responsibility, and we're anxious to build on it. And I do want to remind you that we have one special whole live unscripted session just with Jodi. So we'll have a chance to kind of frame up a more complete kind of goodbye or some closing comments. And I know you're going to be here till about January 3rd or so. But anyway, in that, there's one time just for you. But on top of that, like, what was going through, you know, what was going through your mind as you were just about ready to make that announcement? Like, I mean, what were you feeling? What were you feeling?
So I was feeling guilty because I make strong commitments. And so, sorry guys. I said to someone this morning, I think I'm over the emotional piece, and obviously I am not. But I was feeling guilty because we have set this incredible plan, and I wanted to be part of it. But I also know, and I was at a session yesterday where someone said, it was someone talking about leadership, and they said, I took the advice of my mother, don't peak too early. And I thought, well, that's kind of a strange piece of advice, but it was said in a way that said, no matter what, yeah, I know. Okay, I wasn't thinking that at all. But what to me was interesting about it is her message was that you're a leader now, you're an employee now, you're doing great work, but there will always be something to go to and something to build on what you're doing. And so for me, the emotional roller coaster has really been up and down, but I also look at it and say, what am I going to? Because maybe there's more work for me to do, and there's more work for me to do in the Edmonton region. And I don't see it as at a particular place. I see it as, how do we continue to build our community? So certainly it's been an emotional roller coaster, and I know my announcement came out and I had a planned vacation, and I went on that vacation, and I felt bad because it's like I just dropped information and walked away. But I also believe that that was healthy for me and healthy for the organization, because there's way more NorQuest than Jodi's time at NorQuest, because there's an incredible future ahead. And you guys, I'm going to watch from across the river and go, holy cow, this is so cool. What's happening?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and we've stepped in, right, collectively, and that's kind of why we're here together, because we owe it to all of you. And I'm going to just stop for a minute. Kira, comments or questions or anything from the chat?
The first question, I think, is probably one of the biggest questions that you're going to answer all day, which is, Lauren, can you pass the football?
Oh, yeah. Watch this. Okay, Jill's taking
this
the
is
pen off of Jill.
Lauren. This is
Go Eskies. All right,
really
watch this.
No. I did a better job earlier. I'm saying that. You didn't see it, but it was really good earlier.
Wonderful. Jackie has asked for the new executives, how has your experience with NorQuest been so far?
Okay, I'm going to turn it over. Yeah. Who'd
So-
like to begin?
So
Okay,
I'll start.
there you go.
I have
Just
the
do
conch
hand
now.
off.
So I've had a great experience so far. It's been everything I thought it would be. I've been an admirer of NorQuest for years, throughout other stages of my career, and to be part of it and to be part of what's going to be coming is very exciting. Chance to work with Jodi was what brought me here. But the plan that you've set in place is what's going to keep me here. And I look forward to working with this incredible group of people and learning from each and every one of you, and getting to know people around the campus and getting to know the college a little bit better as well. So that's been my experience so far.
You go, girl. I'll take it.
Take it from him. Just take it.
I think a lot of people have heard me say this, but it's been drinking from a fire hose, so since walking in day one. And I think part of that is, I've come from industry and I've come over to post-secondary, so there's that learning curve. There's learning the job that's to be done here. But I would say that one of the things that I do well is if you drop me in the middle of chaos, that's when I shine. And so I think that part of the last couple of weeks has been me looking like a deer caught in headlights.
You should have brought sunglasses.
But I love that, and I love the fact that what I've heard is what's constant at NorQuest is change, and I think that's what attracted me here, is the ability to have an impact and make change.
Thank you, Amanda. You're not throwing it at me like Rufus did. So just a quick few notes from me before Lauren jumps in, because I can see you sitting on the edge of your seat. Just for me, as a month in, thank you for the question. I have really enjoyed this very challenging month at NorQuest from a number of perspectives. It's been great to meet people in finance, facilities, IT, which is my portfolio, along with the bank and the bookstore, Brian and Jackie as well. I've met a lot of people. I was at Wetaskiwin campus yesterday meeting with regional folks and really enjoyed that, learning what our business of NorQuest is about. So it's been a challenging month. I'm looking for more challenge and more opportunity, and I have been incredibly excited again with this incredible group. We had a big strategy session last week under Robin's leadership, and it was again challenging, but rightly so. It was an important conversation that we're having here, and I feel like I'm in a great group of people. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, thank you. And I've had the pleasure to work with Michelle before, and I was so excited when you came, Michelle. You've got, like the rest of the executive, a phenomenal human being first. Amazing person, and a great leader at the same time. So yeah, and it's we continue to.
10 bucks.
I know.
Is it 50 or 10?
I know how to treat the finance. I know how to treat the finance people well. For me, I've it took a tremendous courage for a leadership team to go. We have already had a great culture here. And this institution has impacted so many lives. And one of the things I've always heard about the lives that have been changed, because this is all about the learners. We're about the learners that come here. You are about the learners that come here. And to have a chance to kind of work on something that I'm so passionate about with this incredible team of, Jonathan Robb and Jackie Nelson and Maureen Parker and Kiera Crawford and Belinda Martin now and Maureen Lemaitre. Phenomenal group of human beings to kind of work in a small, mighty team to work and to be proactive around disruption. We're not talking about, hey, we're going to just sit back and but we're going to engage 1,000 people and but ultimately 40,000 and more students to go and recreate and reinvent as we participate going forward. And then build this incredible, extraordinary culture. We have a great culture, but how do we become extraordinary and phenomenal? And you will create that. In fact, we are just starting to share the champions' work and all this listening campaign. The talent committee reviewed an early draft of that today. The executive team Friday, we're digging in. And we're digging in on what you've shared with us. And we're excited to share that very openly with everybody because it's our collective story. It's our collective extraordinary culture we're building. Going back to you.
So in
Yeah.
terms of, this is a new story, Amanda, what is your vision for the NorQuest brand?
That's a big question. So I think that one of the questions I was asked before starting with NorQuest is, what do you know about us? And I came back with, I actually know very little. And it was kind of through engaging through going through this job posting that I learned so much about the NorQuest brand. And I thought, wow, we don't have that out there, and we're doing amazing things. So I would say that, and I've experienced this in past organizations as you're growing your brand. When you go to someone, you say, I work for NorQuest. And when they go, what's NorQuest? There's a little piece inside of you that goes, I wish they knew what the great things that we're doing. So my vision is that you stop anyone in the street and you say, I work for NorQuest. And they go, I've heard of them. They're doing some awesome things over there. And then you can feel that pride to say, yeah, and I'm part of that.
So on that same vein, how does culture and brand work together to ensure that we're all working together to build the brand?
So, you mind if I jump in?
Jump on.
So, the brand of NorQuest is defined by 1,000 team members, all of our alumni, and all of our 18,000 plus students today, and all of our incoming students tomorrow. The brand is what we do every day. It's not what's written on the walls, or as great as we will have great social media and advertising and everything that I know Amanda and the team will do. It's what we do, and so the culture is defined from the inside out. So what we have a chance to do is we are the biggest marketing team that we can give Amanda, because we create the brand that she gets to build on. And that's the opportunity in front of us, and how cool that is. And that's why an extraordinary culture accelerates us way beyond what we do inside. So
I would agree. If you think of brand as being, what are people saying about you when you're not in the room, that is your brand, and you can position it however you want. But if the minute you leave the room, a different conversation is happening, then you don't actually have a solid brand. So I think this opportunity to listen to all the employees and really understand, well, what do you think? How do you think we're doing? Is part of us better understanding of, what is that conversation that's happening when we're not in the room.
yeah, when I get on my Lime scooter and I go down, I am going, we're hip NorQuest.
In the bike lane.
In the bike lane.
Not on the
Exactly.
helmet, please.
No helmet.
And I'm being really nice to everybody that passes me. So anyway, what else, Kira?
So Nita has a question for Jill that is related to what you were just talking about brand, which is, what is the biggest change that your portfolio is going to bring to the client experience?
Oh, great question. So there's lots of things that we can do to improve our processes, our systems, and some of the tools that we have for our learners. And so I think the biggest change is that we're going to be simplifying and making it a lot easier for our learners and our corporate customers to work with us. And the ultimate outcome is that they have an exceptional customer experience and that they would recommend NorQuest.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, we're gonna do something real quick, yeah. So we're going to do something, one fun thing from each of you real quick. Start with you, Marianne.
Are you gonna pass the ball? No, please don't.
Live, we're live here, NorQuest Unscripted.
It's gonna be a thing.
Okay, it's not scored yet, but okay. So fun thing about me, I was thinking about that when Lauren first started, and I was trying to think, should I tell you something that I think is fun about me, or that people laugh at me when I do? So I'm gonna do the second part. Whenever someone tells me a funny joke and I'm trying to tell it to others, I'm really bad at that. So I'll start off by laughing hysterically about the joke, and nobody understands what's happening, but they laugh at me.
This
and
is
I think
true.
that's part of the
This
joy.
is true,
That's
yes.
part of the joy of being around me. It's just that you get to laugh without even knowing what you were laughing about. And then I'll say, well, somebody said this really amazing story, and I remember two things. Just give me a minute, and then, oh, wait, damn it, I forgot. But it was so funny. And I start laughing again. So that's one thing about me.
All right.
That's you, Marianne.
Is that
Yes,
true?
That's
It's
true.
So
Yeah.
good. So good. I
Okay,
will tell
Michelle.
you. Yeah, I'll pass it on to
Yeah,
you.
pass it on.
A fun thing about me, and I'll tell you, if you ask my 10-year-old and my 7-year-old a fun thing about mom, I will not repeat what they think is funny about mom. It's probably one of those, if you ever do a NorQuest Unscripted with families, it'll be interesting to see what 7-year-olds say. But what I love to do, what I have fun doing, is I love traveling. I love meeting people, I love traveling, I love understanding new cultures, I like learning, which is part of the fun of the first month at NorQuest, is all of that. But I travel. So this summer, we had a wonderful once-in-a-lifetime opportunity as a family. My husband, my 2 kids, we traveled to Europe, 5 countries, 8 cities, planes, trains, automobiles, all the way. Loved it. It's great fun.
And a Skype moment in there too.
And I had a number of Skype moments. Yes, I did NorQuest through Skype. Thank you, Laurel. And it was fun to do that too.
It was
From
really
Scotland.
cool. Yes.
Good hand up there,
And I
Robin.
think she had a jacket on and pajama bottoms on.
I did.
I did during that
I did,
interview.
Jodi. At least I looked good from here out. That's right.
Good life. Living a good life.
So actually, funny thing for me happened just recently. As part of what we do here, we did some training around indigenization. And one of the exercises that we did as part of that training, if you guys remember, was we were asked to connect with nature, and specifically to go into the forest and engage with a tree.
Yes.
And to connect with nature and to thank nature for what she gives us, and just to take a moment of silence and quiet and just pure connection with that nature. What was really interesting for me, outside of the actual experience, was the fact that I used to be a logger. So I used to cut trees down for a living. And so I think it actually helped, that exercise helped fill my karma bucket a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I
You
killed
gave
so
some
many
love
of
back.
that specific
Yeah.
tree's predecessors that I probably needed to fill that karma bucket. So that was, my family had an absolute kick out of that, because there's some of them are still in the logging industry. So for me to have to go hug a tree was quite an interesting.
You got a few more to go, buddy.
Yeah.
Geez, I feel like I shared a lot about myself in the article that went out. But I'd say that what I do for fun on the weekends, which I'm sure most people are going to go, that's not fun, is I love doing home renovations. So I might come in on Monday and you'll see like paint chunks in my hair and I won't notice, or it's still all over. But yeah, there's always something to fix around the house. And so we're either ripping something out or putting something back in.
I'm gonna end with you, Jodi, so I'm just gonna go on to Norma. Good catch, Norma.
Good catch. Thanks. You know what I really miss doing this summer is, because it kind of cool out, was outdoor water slides. I love outdoor water slides.
I thought you were going to say outdoor water skiing.
I love that.
I love that my family call me the kamikaze. So if you lay down and if you lift your bottom and just go on your shoulder blades and your heels, you can fly.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I go out of control, totally up the sides, up to the edge, and I enter like boom, right out the end. And my family makes sure they go ahead of me and they stand at the bottom just to watch Mom come out the other end. And I didn't get to do that this summer.
Come to NorQuest Unscripted, man. You're gonna learn cool stuff. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to share something that's not funny, but something that's kind of cool. Something in my family is And I always forget the year, but I think it was 2002 when the Winter Olympics were held in Salt Lake City. And it's just such a cool story. I love to share it. So that was the year that both the men and the women hockey teams won a gold medal in the Olympics. It hadn't happened for the men since 1952, I think. And part of the folklore, said that carefully, of the story is...
Folklore?
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. We're live.
Yeah, thank God we didn't say another word there
Right?
instead, yeah.
Right? Thank you. HR and all, too.
Yeah.
Double. Some of the legend around the story is that there was a gold loonie in the ice. And what's cool about it is it was my husband, who was the Edmonton ice maker, Trent Evans, who buried that
No.
loonie.
Yeah.
And so there's buried loonies from Athens and the tennis and the Summer Olympics to, you know, every year winter it always happens. So that's kind of a cool story from my family.
That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
We have to bury a loony here.
Maybe, hey?
I think so, yeah. Thank you.
So a fun
Yeah.
fact about me is that I'm part of a mom's dance group, and so I used to do jazz, but as I get a little bit older, I'm finding that my flexibility has been disappearing. But I still continue to tap dance. We like to compete and we have fun, and usually it's very entertaining to come watch us because we're not that great.
That's great. Is there a pole in your office?
I'm going to teach you how to tap dance, Lori.
Jennifer Lopez. It's a popular show.
No, when she has a beer tap.
So one of the fun thing for me is that we have a summer place that our kids and our grandkids gather in. And I love escaping with with them all for ice cream. I also take them all one-on-one. So they're the youngest is still too young. She's 9 months, but with our 3-year-old and our 5-year-old and our 12-year-old, just me and them and ice cream. And we just have this incredible kind of connection around it. It's kind of an important part of my summer kind of mark. So before you talk about your fun thing, what's with the leg?
I was going to say, though, isn't there also wine involved in your
I know,
summer
but-
place
there's
in
There is.
Marinata?
But drinking wine with ice cream is just,
It's a new float, a new float.
Or
A
an
new
iced
float.
wine.
yeah, do you want, what happened?
So, went to Mexico on vacation, arrived at 8 o'clock at night. We were renting a house there, went upstairs to the washroom, thought, okay, we'll come down, go out for dinner, and I fell down the stairs.
Ouch.
And fractured the talus bone. But I can tell you, I've never had such good care. It was unbelievable. I saw an orthopedic surgeon and went to X-ray immediately following, and they actually came to the house to fit me for the boot.
Wow. We
So
can learn something from
it
that,
was
yeah.
incredible, incredible.
Any kind of fun thing you want to talk about before we do a wrap?
Well, I would say for me, and it may not be, it's maybe not seen as fun, but when I am stressed, I cook. And I bake. And so whenever I bring in cupcakes, cakes that the office is the recipient of, you know that I've had a Jodi time to be able to de-stress and cook and bake, and I love it. So I hope all of you love it.
It's great cooking.
As I'm
Awesome.
stressed,
Yes.
because I love to cook.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Oh, good. We'll have to see if we can
And
talk
she's
you into
really good at it.
that.
Really good.
Very
Yeah.
gifted.
Thank you.
So with that, Kira, before we kind of do a close and Dr. Abbott wraps us up, what other things might you want to ask?
I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the chat. So people are really impressed with you, with the leadership going to the Enoch Cree Nation. So thank you for taking the time to
That's
do
a big
that.
day. It's a great day.
There are some really great ideas about the next CWLD, like being at the water park.
We will consider that.
People love Robin's car. Robin, what do you drive?
Tesla.
I drive a Tesla.
Okay, well, there are
F1
people
3 years.
lined up at your car. So be prepared for that. And then we have a few really silly questions that if I can get you to rapid fire through would be great.
Okay.
So first one, we're going to start at Marion and come over to Norma. What are your zodiac signs?
Oh, Zodiac.
what is that?
I'm a Scorpio.
Leo.
I am Taurus. I'm proud to be Taurus.
Gemini.
Scorpio.
Aquarius.
Taurus.
Cancer.
Sagittarius.
Aquarius.
Now that Doan's is under renovations,
Oh,
in a pinch, are you guys going to go to Subway or Tim's? Norma?
Subway for sure.
Subway.
Absolutely Subway.
Tim's.
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 Subway.
Subway.
Starbucks?
I'd say Pizza 73. I love pizza.
Last very important question. How many of you played in the road hockey tournament?
Oh.
And if you played, how many goals did you get?
So,
Amanda, you got something else. What did you
Yeah. Talk about
Once you've shared it with us, share it with the whole
I
college.
got a bruise. So I took a slap shot to the ankle and it stopped dead as soon as it hit me. So that's
There is no bruise. It is purely up here.
so we do want to say that we did have a team called the Flying Eagles, which was, that name was taken over by Connor and everybody
Yeah.
else,
What
by the way.
happened
I don't know. No naming rights exchange. But we couldn't, we were too late registering
Yeah.
to.
We're going to have to grow that tournament.
That
It's
tournament
incredible.
is
So much
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was the most incredible thing, and it's just, you should feel so proud of it, all you that, it's just the essence of what
Absolutely.
NorQuest
Who we are.
is. Yeah, who we are.
I just want the exec to know, because obviously you can't be looking at the screen, we got up to over 85 people streaming today, but some of those included viewing parties. There's a
Yeah.
viewing party in this room, that's what all the noise is. We've been able to hear them in this room all the time. There are viewing parties in Center 108, and a few people logged on from the Wetaskiwin campus.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
good
So-
job.
Wetaskiwin, Drayton
Yes.
Valley, everybody else, we know that it's a big number because of the viewing parties and things, and so, phenomenal job, team. Really
Yes,
great
thank
job.
you.
Big hand to you guys, well done. And, just as a way to kind of, having you kind of wrap up with a closing comment, and then we'll call it a wrap to the first NorQuest Unscripted.
So first of all, Lauren, thank you very much for taking the initiative to do this. I
Very
think
cool.
this
That's that
is,
team.
yeah, but that's your idea.
Thank you.
So take that.
Thank you.
And I think it really is about how do we open up our communication channels, which I think is very, very positive. Today was a lot of fun, and I think you're seeing the people around the table who come to work every day, and this is how we show up at work, except with the football, but I think it's probably coming with us. And what I would encourage, today was fun, and I think it's an opportunity to get to know the executive team. What I'd encourage is please ask the tough questions. I know there's a million of them out there. We were prepared for them today, so please ask. And whether it's you send us an email or through Unscripted, you ask them, that's what this is about. So be courageous, ask, and we'll answer what we can answer.
Great. Well, how about a hand to all of our participants and these guys?
Yes, thank you.
Is that a wrap, Mary? Thanks, you all. That was great. Bye for now. See you next
See you guys.
Wednesday. Next Wednesday, 11 o'clock.